So I want to record this real quick to do the announce the winners for the May fixed line. I want to thank everybody that submitted a video, and I would also like to thank Fishing Yoyito for the generous donation of 2 of the Yoyito handline kits to be prizes. So we had a really good turnout. Had 7 entries. I'd like to take a second and talk about each entry. And we're going to have 2 winners because one person completely demolished the competition. No insult to anybody else, but if you watch his video, you'll understand why. So the first entry was from G-Man Lip Ripper, and he got out with his cane pole that he made last year, and it's old, bent, beaten. Said he left it out all winter and didn't take care of it. Still works. He landed some nice bass, pitching a little, or not little, but pitching a, plastic worm into some gaps in cover and landed some nice bass. The next person to submit a video was Donald Plank, and he fished a hopper dropper on a tenkara. Caught, like he always does, caught some really nice bluegills and other panfish, green sunfish, and nice, a lot of nice fish. Caught some small bass in there too, if I remember correctly. I haven't watched these videos all the way through since they were new. I've gone back and watched little bits and pieces of each one to get a reminder of what they were. And the third person to put in a video was Peter from Beyond the Cane Pole, and he took out a Coke bottle that he used as a hand line, or used as a reel for the hand line, if you will. But a reel in a loose definition. It's a reel that's allowed. It's the only type of. It's a winding method, but it's not. It's not a mechanical reel, so it is allowed, and that's something that I had said is completely acceptable to wrap a line around a soda bottle or anything like that, or to use a Cuban yo-yo or anything. Excuse me. So he caught some catfish in his pond, some nice catfish, with the line wrapped around the bottle, and it was a great video. And I want to pause here for a second and just talk about these 3. These were the first 3 submitted, and what I thought was really cool about this, but also that makes it very difficult to decide winners in a competition like this. 3 videos had 3 different styles of fishing and 3 different targeted species. G-Man was targeting bass with the cane pole. Donald was targeting panfish with tenkara, and Peter was targeting catfish with a hand line. And that's, to me, that's what makes this a really cool competition. It's also what makes it extremely difficult to judge. How do you compare those to each other? The next person that made a video was Dave Teffer, and if you haven't seen this video, you have to watch it. I laughed through the whole thing. It was a great video. Dave makes a lot of great videos. This one was excellent. He made a little styrofoam boat, made some little stick figure people, put lines on them, and used them to catch fish, and did his voices throughout. It was excellent. It was amazing, and nobody else's video could compete with this. So that's part of the reason that we're doing 2 prizes, is because Dave obviously won, and we had a good turnout, so I feel okay giving away the other to a second place. Next one was Fisherman Guy 44. I believe his name is Alec. If it's Alex, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it's Alec. He made a great video where he went out with a spool of line and a little jar with some various tackle in it, and cut down a little sapling, dug some worms, and caught some fish. And it was an enjoyable video to watch. Next up was Isaac's Fishing Corner. He did some bluegill fishing with a crappie pole, like one of those extendable fiberglass types. And he had, it was a good video. He caught a good number of fish. I like his videos a lot. He does a lot of good stuff. And finally was Greg Hill, and he made a valiant effort to catch a fish. He was not able to land one. He had a lot of interest in his bait. His worms all got stripped off the hook, and he just wasn't able to hook up with anything. It seemed like he was fishing a fairly crowded public park, and one of the big problems when you fish places like that is small bluegills get really good at stripping hooks and not getting caught. That's something that happens a lot where I fish in the canal, that as the summer progresses, they get really good because they've been targeted so much. They get really good at not getting caught and just pulling bait off of hooks. So, like I said, first place is Dave Teffer. Second place was a really tough decision. Everybody made great videos. Everybody followed the rules. And really, the one thing that kind of stood out for me was with Fisherman Guy 44's video, is that he did, when I started this contest, about 2 years ago, it wasn't the fixed line contest. It was a back to basics contest, and it was to encourage people to get out in a simpler means of fishing, to go out, and you had to dig your own bait, and you had to either use a cane pole or a crappie pole, or cut down a sapling or something like that, or fashion your pole, something like that. Something like what you would have to do when you were a little kid and you wanted to fish. Not everybody grew up with rods and reels and high-end stuff, especially like a lot of the kids nowadays are growing up with a lot higher end stuff. I mean, I always had a rod and reel when I was little, but we did a lot of digging worms and stuff like that when we needed to find them. So that's something that really stuck out to me, is that he went in with the complete simplicity of, I've got a spool of line and a little bit of hardware. I'm going to go cut a tree down, or a sapling, not a tree, cut a sapling down, and fashion a working piece of equipment out of it. And it was a great video. So he is the second place winner. I encourage you to watch all of these videos. Everybody took their time and effort to put these videos together, so you should at least give them that back and and watch them. There will be a link to the playlist that has all the videos. Will be down in the description box. So check them all out. If you haven't subscribed to those people, give them a subscribe and watch their videos. All these guys make quality stuff. So thanks for watching, and I will be messaging the winner soon.